Globally, 1 out of every 7 people today live with some form of disability, according to the World Health Organization. Visual impairment being one of the many conditions. The major causes of visual impairment are uncorrected refractive errors and cataract that lead to partial or total blindness. According to medics, those who are visually impaired need special technology to pursue their education. Our reporter Hussein Ahmed with more.
They say disability is not inability. People living with disability have always faced stigma and isolation because of their physical appearance. Stakeholders and well-wishers are now trying to bridge that social gap that had existed for decades.
Times I appreciate I'm blind and somehow educated and learned at the same time, compared to the rest of the world, where at times you find others who have their sights and yet they cannot turn their sight into reality, where they cannot do something substantive. But I thank God, at least with my blindness, I'm somewhere compared to the rest of the world that is maybe not using whatever they have well as far as their sight is concerned.
First it was hard because it's a different lifestyle, but with time and through a lot of counseling and support from my family, I accepted myself and life had to go on.
Education is regarded as a crucial aspect of every individual's life that every Kenyan is entitled to as exposed in the country's constitution. However, for the people living with disability, the journey to quench the thirst of education has always been tough due to inadequate special technologies required for such members of the society.
I am not totally blind and I am not fully sighted, so sometimes people might not understand what you are able to see and what you are not able to see. So I have had to cope up with using assistive devices so that I am able to perform daily activities like reading.
In terms of mobility, it's quite challenging because using that white cane, it's quite difficult for me. I've not actually adapted to it. So I do strain a lot to maybe find my way. And even in terms of reading, I can't actually use the normal writings.
Peter Okeo is a program manager of Enable Group, and he tells us of how a special app known as non-visual desktop access is changing lives.
In terms of higher learning institutions, because from primary, you graduate to high school, and then there are those who manage to go to higher learning institutions, universities, mid-level colleges, and all that. So when they go to those higher learning institutions, some of those institutions don't have this kind of technology. So you find that even though a student has joined there who is totally blind or low vision, they still get disconnected because that software is not available there.
Their biggest fear, however, is whether they will be accepted in the job market by their prospective employers after the completion of their studies. Being visually impaired or having a low vision is not the desire of anyone. Those with such disability are people just like any other person, but with special needs, and they ought to be loved and catered for. Hussein Ahmed, Switch TV.